What's up, everybody? What's up, Bike Life? This is David Flores, the Bike Life surfer from the 5280. And
DJ Seldom Sing, the emperor of bike life. What's good with y'all out there in the world today?
how you doing, man? How's your week been? How was your weekend, I
Man,
should say? The week has just started.
pretty good, right? And that so-called holiday kind of tripped everybody up a little bit, just a little bit. But
Yeah, it did. It definitely did. So,
the weekend was relaxing, just trying to relax and recover. And as always, and outside of that, it's pretty good. The weather was pretty steady. I got my Halloween decorations outside of the house, so
spectacular. Gonna be a little,
yeah.
little scariness for the kids.
Yeah, just a little bit. It's pretty cool because
That's
I got the little neighbors now trying to keep up with me. Now they're trying to add little stuff real quick now.
that's cool. Yeah, what do you call it? I did some riding this weekend. Though we had a lot of rainy weather, I went to the Colorado History Tour rides um, with Lauren Hansen. He did his 100th ride, and that was pretty good. I think we put in about 13 to 15 miles. We checked out an observatory and then the Capitol, and then there was an after party. But it was really cool to see that he's done 100 rides, and he's constantly doing it. Like he's going to have a haunted one for the kids, I think, and he does, just everything. It's a really great ride. And they did an after party at Z Cycles Bicycle Shop. I've brought them up in the past before. Their local store in Denver.
Okay. Now, when you say he's doing like he's gonna create like a ride, it's gonna really be like a haunted ride for the kids, or what do you know about that?
That one I'm not sure on. I just had heard that he was going to just the other day. I think it was actually like Sunday night. Somebody was telling me he was going to have like a haunted ride for the kids or something to that
Okay.
nature. So I can't really quote it, but I heard he was having something
I mean,
like
that
that
sounds pretty.
Halloween coming up.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. I would like to make sure you try to get some info on that because I
Oh,
like
we
to take a
definitely
page.
are.
You know what I'm saying? I like to see, try to see if I can mimic something similar to that.
Yeah, I know that they Washington Park Cruisers have their Century Ride coming up as well. So that'll be pretty interesting to see too. I might actually come out and do that Century that I was talking to you about, that 100-mile ride.
Oh, so you're gonna do it like sooner than later?
I think sooner than later. I think I'm going to give it a shot. If anything, I'll do the metric part of it if I can't get the whole
Okay,
100 in.
big ups,
But
big ups. Okay.
yeah, I'm saying, oh, and then I will not be on an e-bike either. So, hey,
Listen,
go ahead.
you got my support either way, so you already know. You with me irregardless, e-bike or not. So,
You know what was
but
cool today was I lured somebody on a bike ride. One of my buddies who's been asking me to go on a bike ride for some time. Um, I just hadn't we hadn't had a chance like link up and to pull the trigger and everything like that. My friend Mike Reich, I went up to his house and hung out for a second. I was like, "Come on, man, let's go on a bike ride. Just be in the neighborhood." So I get him outside, and I was like, "Matter of fact, why don't you do this? Why don't you try my bike out?" And I got him on my e-bike, and we probably went on about a 3 mile ride. I pedaled while he was kicking it on the
wait,
surfer.
what bike did you lure him on?
I lured him on the surfer.
Oh, so that's the yeah, that's gonna be the one that everybody want to get on. So
He had a good
yeah,
time on it. That was a good time. He's talking about wanting to get one now, so I think it's going to be pretty awesome. I think it's
no,
going to be
that's
real.
cool. Yeah. So he currently don't have a bike then, right?
No, he does not. No,
Okay.
he does, but he has a like a mongoose suspension bike. It's a pretty cool bike. It was comfortable the whole time. You could tell that he's somebody that takes care of his bike because I mean it was easy to pedal, the gears were easy to shift. So even it being that it was a little bit of an older bike, I got a good pedal. So
Oh, okay.
broke a sweat. So it was nice to do that. And then I just rode my bike back to the house and stuff like that too. So it was pretty good.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. I see a
Well,
little T-shirt, man. I got to give me one. Give me one of them, man. I
oh,
need
this
one.
one
Yeah,
it
I need
says
one.
it
I
says what?
love it.
Don't be a dick and enjoy the ride.
I love it. I love it.
A lot of us need to take
The
that
whole
advice
design,
sometimes.
artistry, everything about it.
Let's
I
see one
need
more
one.
time. Let's see. So yeah, it's a collection of shirts I have from different clubs. So it's always something new. Since
Yeah.
we wear black all the time, I'm definitely trying to find new stuff all the time. So
Right.
big ups to that. Any rides planned out your way?
No, I think everybody now since the season is kind of starting to, get a little chillier in the weather. Now we're just ad libbing, making up for like if people had rides that they didn't get a chance to do, creating stuff like that. Um, like you know me, like I said, I'm a peddler. I'll get out there whether the weather is chilly or not. So it's going to be about who wants to be down
Mhm.
with me to ride. But outside of that, a lot of the bike life in the Midwest, not all of it, but they're starting to go inside, do their anniversary parties and stuff like that. But catch the nice days as they come, because you know they're coming down, dwindling down to the end with the weather. So, you know, that's just how it is.
You know who wasn't inside today was Bike Mike and the Soul Roll in Detroit. I saw E's live feed earlier. They were out rolling around in Detroit, and I heard it's a little
Okay.
bit chilly. I heard it's a little chilly out there tonight.
Right, yeah, but then no, they'll still get it too. Yeah, I will big ups to E and Bike Mike and all of them for that for sure. They definitely they get it in where they fit in. So and that's what I'm saying. It's like, you know, if there's a ride to be had, you know, they're gonna have it. So, you know, I'm right around the corner, you know, I'm minutes away from them. So if I want to join in, all I gotta do is get my lazy butt up and do it. So
Yeah,
that's what it is for that.
definitely, most definitely. Um, so it's what 7:07 here. We have a guest coming on in about 3 minutes. Hey, what was I going to ask you? How? Hey, did you see the Lions game last night? I'm just
Is
asking.
you trying to be funny?
Well, it was kind of
Like what? I mean,
funny.
what does that mean?
I don't know. It was just kind of fun. I was just asking, did you watch Monday Night Football last night? That's all. I mean,
No,
yeah,
you said that I
I mean Sunday Night
see the
Football.
Lions. You didn't say Sunday night football because Monday night football is on right now.
Yeah, I know. I got that mixed up.
But
I
yeah,
was
I'm
just
watching
wondering
Monday night football.
for all my Midwest friends. Did anybody watch the game last
Yeah,
night?
I happened to catch the game. It was a pretty good game. It was
It was,
it was
yeah.
a
There's no joke.
interesting game.
I'm just giving my Midwest friends a hard time. That's all.
I I know what you're doing. That's all right. Just wait till as they say, beating the dead horse comes.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I ain't the one to gossip, but Miss Juanita told me over there in East Detroit that the Lions are struggling right now. So they're trying to make
No,
a trade.
never a struggle. But as that saying goes, any given Sunday, anybody
Yeah.
can. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, dude, the Broncos alone, that game in London, that was a very, very just we won. That's all I say. We definitely should have got us a support badge or something for worst game played overseas. I mean, that was bad. That was. They got it though. You can't. I mean, they're professionals. They won. They definitely did win.
Right, right. Hey, I know. I heard something about it, and I can't remember. Did we talk about this the last time or whatever? You had brought up. They're coming out. Are they coming out, or do they have a more powerful mid drive? What's
Well, the Surfer is a rear hub and stuff. I got the product from CSC. It was, my first one, and it's time for a system upgrade. But I think I'll probably be going with the 1,000-watt Bafang here before too long. My buddy Eric Guterman from E-Force Bikes that I've talked about in the past is gonna do the install for it. But I'm actually gonna have him like really, really walk me through it because like he's a builder that knows what he's doing when it comes to that. So
okay?
I trust a lot of people. Even another good builder out here is Colorado Craig. He does the Lolos and stuff too, so that's another option. But I just live down the street from E-Force Bikes, so I like to support small businesses. So anything like custom wise, like chopper wise, my boy Craig in Colorado is probably the one to go to for that kind of stuff because he can build them up. But both of them equally talented when it comes to that craft.
Okay. Well, you already know I'm going to see Chris. I'm going up to Chicago. He's close enough for me to just, give him a call and tell him I'm coming. A couple of my other members are definitely like, we going to Chris for sure for our needs when it comes to building or getting whatever. And I think, yeah, he will be building my next whatever I come up with. If it's on a build factor, he'll be the first to touch it
Well, since
because
you're the emperor of bike life, maybe it'll be a chariot with two bicycles pulling it with you in the back. So
Hey, listen, that'll be a good one. You should see my logo too. I can't wait to get it all the way fully pressed out, but yeah, you'll be getting a patch for that too. So it's
Okay,
gonna
cool.
be.
Well, hey, it's 7:10, and we have Adam Saplin from Handle Stash Accessories. He has a company here local in Colorado, and I talked a little bit last week about his product, but I actually brought the owner and designer of this company on here, so he's going to chime in and he's going to talk to us about his product. Hey, Adam, how's it going?
Hey, David, it's going well. How are you?
Adam,
Good.
Adam, Adam. What's going on?
How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good.
So last week, when we rode that last time in Arvada, you had hooked me up with the camouflage handle stash bag. Can you tell me I gave it a brief breakdown last time, but can you explain your product? Because I don't think I did the best of it. So I want them to, people have seen it, but I want them to actually, get it from you.
Yeah, so the stem bag that I gave you, that's our larger drink holder, beverage holder. That's a bike packing style of bag that mounts between the handlebar and the stem. Um, we didn't invent that style of bag, but I make those super insulated. And then the one I gave you was one of like 9 or 10, I think it was 10 different like limited edition camo patterns that I just did. With my one of my fabric suppliers had this grab bag of camouflage bag fabrics with like X-Pack and like technical fabrics and like licensed camo prints. And I saw those. I'm like, I gotta get that. Let's make some bags. I was already doing a run with some scraps and remnants of like a few stem bags. So I threw those camo bags in and yeah, so I think one of that hex cam orange and gray camos is what I hooked you up with.
Yeah, it's a great one. It's definitely, I've already had it on a couple of rides, and I do like it. I mean, it's got room for everything. I've even got some water in there and snacks, so it definitely has a lot of room. Do you have a sample of anything with you right now?
Yeah, I got a couple products in front of me. So
Yeah.
this is one of the stem bags here.
Okay. Is that the one that you gave me? Similar?
Same design, different, obviously different colorway. This is like a green, like aqua camouflage.
Oh, okay, cool. How long you been at this game?
Over 5 years. I started officially launched sales in April of 2020, April 2nd of 2020. So 2 weeks in the pandemic shutdown. Um, before I launched, I was obviously working on product development. So I started Handle Stash to make a better cup holder for bikes. I've got one of those here too, my shock absorbing cup holder.
I have that one. That's a great one. I have that one. You gave that to me at Sloan's Lake on the skid marks ride.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I had some returns and like just like minor blemish product. I'm like, let's go give these out to some of the cruiser guys. But yeah, so I started the business to make a better cup holder for bikes. I worked on that design for about 18 months. I'd never designed a consumer product. I'd never launched a business. I'd never sold a single thing online. And so worked on this and was ready to go 2 weeks in the pandemic shutdown with a marketing plan of being out at the cruiser rides, getting to know people, being out in the community, riding bikes.
Yeah, you definitely have done that. I do, as you know, we both see each other at Camp Coffee,
Yeah,
or it was Thursday night with the Arvada Cruisers, Kenny and Jen's ride. I mean, we've seen each other just about everywhere when we ride. So when we ride, that's for sure. An
yeah.
e-bike gang, my friend.
Now,
It's always good to see you at these rides.
Yeah.
now, with that being said, though, like you just more is it more just cup holder, or do you have like a pouch, or what do you have, or are you looking forward to doing something even bigger and major for under your brand?
I I want to keep adding products as I can. The first few years, all I did were cup holders, and then in like 2023, I came out with this stem bag that I just showed you, and then one other handlebar bag, a 2 liter burrito bag with a like wide curved opening that makes it really easy to access. And then this year we've added two other handlebar bags, a smaller, simpler, lower cost bag, and then a big one we call the Stash Watch, 5.3 liters, almost bike packing size, almost not quite, but enough room for like repair kit, phone, keys, wallet, like snacks, and still like a couple of layers, or it'll hold a 6 pack of beer.
Okay. Okay, great, great, great.
Um,
Yeah, that'll be good because I'll put it on my Facebook Rider page and stuff for people. Now, these things will be available, right, to order or
yeah, I
and
sell
or
everything. I sell everything on the website, handlestash.com.
okay, great. Yeah. We'll definitely post that have your link, and hopefully your sales will go up a little bit after this interview. So
Well, I sure appreciate that.
yeah.
You got any rides coming up that you're going to be doing yourself, Adam?
Not social rides unless there's a brewery ride put on by a few breweries in Golden, Mad Max over on like east side of Golden, and then um, what's the brewery in South Golden Road? A couple more breweries on South Golden Road are doing a social ride we did a couple weeks ago. I think they might still have one more this season that I might do. Otherwise, me and my fiance we're planning to do a mountain bike ride up in Virginia Canyon and Idaho Springs later this week, and nothing else on the schedule right now.
Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, I've been wanting to. I might have to link up with you for that golden ride because, I'm one of those ones that if I can hit the ride one time to say I did it, I definitely will.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Do you have any? Is there any festivals or anything you guys are any kind of bicycle events, handle sashes going to anytime soon?
Yeah, so we're signed up for VeloSwap. That's coming up
Oh,
in a
yeah, that
couple
is coming up.
weeks. Yeah, if you've not talked about VeloSwap on here, I think it's one of the best local bike events as far as like trade shows, markets go.
Nice. So everybody's out there with their product.
Yep, there's a lot of local businesses, a lot of local bike shops are selling like into season closeouts, so great place for deals. Um, and then there's like a whole section of it that's swappers and individuals. I think it's, I don't know, 40-50 bucks to get a table, and you'll see like old bikes clubs guys out there, and people with all sorts of parts. So it's like a huge like swap meet and hangout, as well as like a marketing event for like local brands like me.
That could get me in trouble, man, with my credit cards, that's for sure. Because I definitely know once I start spending on bike parts and stuff that I just have to have, because I'm pretty much, you can see me coming a mile away. And I think a lot of people know that too. Sometimes when I see something cool.
Hey Adam, what all do you ride though? What bikes? Out of curiosity, what do you have? Several bikes? One main bike? What do you ride?
So I've got the one I'm riding the most right now is my commuter. I've got an electric cargo bike, a Beno Boost. That was actually a grant to the business from the city of Denver.
Oh, okay.
So that was a really sweet hookup we got last year. So it's long tail cargo bike, full Bosch system, like about a 60-mile range with the second battery on there.
Whew.
Then I've got a like Mozzie CX. I treat it as a gravel bike slash like bar bike slash like ride around the neighborhood bike. It's like
Okay, right.
and then I've got a Pivot Shadowcat. So it's my mountain bike.
Okay.
So I live in Golden, so just outside of Denver. We joke it's one mesa into the Front Range. So I've actually got some mountain bike trails I can ride from my house here. And then
Nice.
Golden puts me closer to all the other trails too. So no, mountain biking is where I get into biking, and it's still probably, well, commuting now is what I do the most. But if I'm getting out for a ride strictly for the sake of riding, it's usually on my mountain bike.
Okay,
Nice.
so that's your favorite. Okay, yeah, that's what I wanted to know. Yeah, yeah.
But man, if there's a
Okay.
ride to a brewery, that might be my real favorite.
Well, thanks for coming on, and feel free to stay on with us if you just want to hit the mute button. But thank you for explaining your product, and we really do appreciate you coming on, Adam.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
No
All right, man.
problem.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Next up, we have Teresa Straub from Yuma, Arizona. She should be coming on any second now. Wait, I think I might see. Whoa! Oh, there she is. How are you doing, Teresa?
Bah, 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 bah.
Look, she's in her gear.
Hi guys, thank you for having me.
It's great to have you. It's great to have you. I follow you a lot online, so I see you're always out there pedaling, pushing those pedals constantly. So we
Yes.
put our heads together on this one, and we wanted to switch it up because we've been covering clubs, and we've had the fellas on there, but we haven't gave a shout out to the ladies yet. So we got to get you guys on here, so it can't just be just one sided all the time because hell, I know
love it.
some of you ladies definitely out pedal both of us,
That's true.
and do some tricks,
I'm working on my tricks. Sorry, I know you can't see my face. I'm working on my tricks. I have a lot of inspiration out there, when it comes to tricks. but we're a little different because we're, you know, being gorditas, we might be a little bit bigger, but doesn't mean we can't do those tricks, you know. But we have a lot of inspiration out there, and we're super excited. I'm super excited because there is a lot of amazing women in bike life, and I'm honored to be the first one that you guys feature because I hope there's more.
Oh, there definitely is going to be more. There is definitely going to be more. I've seen quite a few out there that we want to interview. And then on top of me traveling, I'm going to start trying to do 6 to 10 events out of state a year. So that's going to give me
Yeah.
more time to meet people. So it's
Well,
kind of one of
good.
those
Get out
things.
of Colorado because I heard you guys talking about, you know, kind of your weather's coming. This is our awesome season. Yuma's going to about to kick off with some pretty awesome rides. We endure these hot summers for these winters, so you can
I don't
always come
blame
out and
you.
pedal with us.
Yeah, we were talking about that. I have several e-bikes and road bikes and single speeds and stuff like that. But now I'm about to bust out my little like 20-inch fat tires for the snow. I'm actually going to get some snow set of tires this season because
Oh,
I do like to
wow.
be, yeah, I do like to be out all the time. But sometimes I've been known and DJ hears about it at, God knows when I could be riding 2, 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes just with friends, and he's heard about a couple of wipeouts. So I got to
And
make sure I'm ready this
you know what? We tried to do the buddy system, but in the summertime, you would definitely see some people out there 3, 4 o'clock in the morning to get their rides in because it gets pretty brutal out here. So yeah, we look forward to this time of year.
Yeah, definitely. My thing with late night riding sometimes too is I can be an insomniac, so I'll go put in 5 to 7 miles just to come back, so I know like I can be knocked out. But I
Yes,
could
definitely.
only imagine though that weather. One of my friends that's out there in Phoenix says she hadn't rode since May because it was just too damn hot for her and stuff like that too.
You know, we push our rides back later. When we start organizing our rides in the summer, we push them back. You know, we try to leave about 7:30, but you know, some of our rides, we have our kids and stuff. They got school, you know, so we try not to make it too late, but man, yeah, the summers are brutal. There was a couple this year that were like, you guys, we can't. Like it is, you know, 115 at 6 o'clock. It's
Ooh.
110 by 7 o'clock. It's like, you guys, we can't do this.
Yeah, I
But we try to.
yeah, that is definitely some weather out there. I haven't got to ride in Yuma yet, and I'm still trying to make it to the Gorditas anniversary ride. I'm just having to say,
November 8th.
yeah, November 8th, Gorditas third or fourth?
It is our third
Third,
anniversary.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's our third anniversary. I came into Gorditas about 2.5 years ago, so I got to celebrate the first anniversary. Last year, I'm usually the ride lead. I am the route leader. And it was funny because we were not even a quarter way into the ride, and my brother rides with us too. And I said, Mikey, you know, how much further do we got? Because we were on a path, thinking, okay, got to give everybody time to catch up. And I go, what are you thinking? You know, like 200 people? He goes, try like 5. I was like, oh man, I shouldn't
Oh my
have asked.
God. Oh,
Shouldn't have asked. It's
oh,
better not to know what's behind you, but still try to keep them safe.
wow.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Those
so
two
year three, we've been planning, and we have an awesome ride, awesome route this year. I'm super excited. You know, everybody kind of comes together and says, you know, we need to show off Yuma. Yuma's a big agricultural town, and so we got a little bit of fields in there, especially this time of year. You're going to get to see some fields. You're going to get to see some of the river. You're going to get to see the in town too. You know, the routes that we ride, you know, every single day. We're trying to incorporate those routes into our ride for November 8th.
So with your rides that you guys are having like this and you have 500, 600 people, do you have to get permits from the city? And do you also have police escorts from time to time?
So we try to get police escorts, but with me in the business that I am in radio, we have a great relationship with our Yuma Police Department, and I start to warn them. You know, last year we tried to get a police escort, but it didn't work out. But we have great, you know, friends within the bike life and other clubs that help out with ride control, traffic control, those types of things. And honestly, over the 2 weeks leading up to it, I let them know, hey, we're coming. You know, please be patient. We'll be out of your way in a few minutes. I think that's really awesome that I have that platform to kind of, you know, educate the community too when it comes to bike life. So yeah, I let them know we're coming. That's for sure.
That's cool. All right, well, so we're going to start with some questions now. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay, as we explore the journey that led you to bike life, what sparked your realization that bike life could be a powerful catalyst for personal growth and transformation for you?
So when I initially started Bike Life, it was my son, my oldest son. He's 15 years old right now, and he had been riding for about 6 months or so before, if not more. You know, my brother rode, and he would, hey Mikey, my brother, hey, are you going to be riding? So I can come drop off Eli. He wants to ride. And then we had a memorial ride for a close friend of the family. Biking, BMX, all that kind of stuff has always been in our blood. You know, my dad was an old school BMX rider back in the day. We were always at the BMX track. Those types of things. My brother himself was at the BMX track. Then my son was at the BMX. So biking has always been in our blood. And finally, it got to the point where it was like, you know what? My youngest son was old enough. I could carry him on my bike. And I'm like, why are we not participating in this with him? You know, it's a great way for us to spend time with our son. You know, let's get out there and do that. So we talked to my husband, and we all got involved. And very quickly, I see why my son was wanting to go. I fell in love with it, not only for the exercise portion of it, but for the mental clarity part of it too. You know, you can get out on your bike and you can pedal as many miles as you want and just relieve the stress of the day, you know. So yeah, it was about, oh gosh, 3 years ago that we really said, you know what, we're committing to this. And once I did one ride, it was done. We were at every ride we could possibly be at. You know, so yeah, I should have gotten into it sooner, but man, once I did, it was the best thing I could have did for our family, because it really is a family thing.
That's cool. What's your go-to on your rides? What's your go-to bike?
I ride a SE Big Flyer. I got that for Christmas last year, and you know, my dad is actually, I had a beach cruiser for a long time, and that's what I just would kind of cruise around. And then when my dad seen that we were like, okay, she's really starting to do this, he gifted me with my first Throne. I rode a Goon for a while, and
Oh,
that bike
cool.
took very, very good care of me. Very good care of me. And also my son. My son is going to be 6 next month, and I carried him on my bike for a good 2 years. He
Nice.
just, yes, this year he just started finally riding on his own. So I carried him on all the rides, whether we were out of town, you know, pushing those San Diego hills, doing miles, he was there with me. And then this past Christmas, my dad blessed me with my first SE, and I could see why. You know, there's different bikes for different people, but and I was happy with my Throne. Don't get me wrong, I was absolutely happy with it. But once I got my SE, man, it's kind of like riding a Cadillac. It was so smooth. I was like, okay, now I see what the hype is.
You went from an 80.
26?
What's that?
So is it 26 or a 29er?
It's a 29.
Oh,
It's
there
a
you go.
29.
She went from
Yeah,
86
it's a
Harley
29.
Davidson. Nice, nice. Who's your in town when you do your rides and everything like that? Who is your favorite BMXer, like wheelie boy or girl, lady, person?
You know, there's so many. We ride with so many people. So I am obviously with Gorditas BMX. Like, that is my club. And I absolutely love my Gordita sisters and what we stand for. But all together, we are Yuma Bike Life. And so, yes, so there's about 9 different clubs, that 9 or 10 different clubs within Yuma. And my Gordita sister Maria and I, we've took over Yuma Bike Life a couple years ago. Somebody sat down and said, hey, you know, is this something you're interested in doing? And Maria said yes. And I said, I'm right there to help you, you know. So me and Maria have been doing it for almost 2 years now. There's honestly, there's so many, because within Yuma Bike Life, I see so many families. And of course, we are all about women empowerment. We always want to get these ladies out on the bikes, no matter your size, age. I mean, we have a Gordita sister. She's actually my Thea. She's my auntie. She's in her 60s, you know.
Nice.
We want people, she became the Bike Life Thea. She became the Bike Life Thea. But, you know, she was out there pedaling with the best of us. And we have our Gordita BMX Mondays, and those are a medium to fast paced ride. and we put in some miles, and we don't shy away from the hills. And she got out there with us, and over the time that she has been riding with us, just to see the improvement that she has made, you can't help but be touched by those types of things, with her age and things like that. But we have so many families, so many moms, so many dads that get their kids off the screens, get them out of the house and pedaling. So I can't say there's like one person per se that has really stood out to me, but there's a lot of us, because I like to see these kids on bikes. I like to see these ladies out there pedaling. So it's kind of a lot of them.
You got a love for all of them. Okay. Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite pro rider? Do you keep up with the pro circuit on SE at all?
Obviously, because she's a female, Rosie. I mean, with SE
Okay.
and Dan, because she's out there living the dream. I tend to post her a lot, but there's a lot of those, because she's an SE rider, I follow her and things like that, and she interacts. She makes sure if you send her love, she's sending love back, type of thing. And we're crossing our fingers. We're hoping she's going to make it here in November. But yeah, people like them that have made a life and a living out of doing what they love, to be able to be on a bike all day long.
I wish I didn't have to do my job and I could just pedal all day long.
I love my job. So, I like that too.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if I could pedal all day long for work, I would. But unfortunately, I'm not a courier like the rest of them. So you do a lot of the ride leading, you say, right?
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Can you tell me about a time that you conquered a difficult hill or a long distance group ride, and what did you learn about your own resilience and strength while leading a long ride?
Dave, she leads the pack, so she leads everybody. I don't know if that
There's
question
a lot of pressure with leading, though, DJ. There's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, what's the pressure like of it?
So there's Yuma, for the most part. I mean, we're desert, so we're flat. But we do have a few hills in town, and there's some infamous ones out there. I do remember the first one that I did, because I don't think I wasn't a Gordita yet when I first did this hill. It's Pacific Avenue Hill, and it basically is an overpass going over the highway, the freeway area, and it's challenging. That first step, that first initial climb, is the challenging part. But once you get to that midway point, there's still more, but it's not as bad as that first part. And there's a group in town. They're the Loopers. Shout out to Juanito and all his Loopers. That's a ride that everybody has always kind of been afraid of. It's a 25+ mile ride, loop around Yuma. It's an awesome ride. You see everything. Similar to what we will be doing on November 8th. Awesome. Everything. We actually conquered that hill on our anniversary ride last year. But when I initially did it, I grabbed my son one Saturday morning and I said, you know what, let's go do this. He'd already ridden the loop with Juan, because Juan's son is a scallywag and my son is a scallywag too. So in order to be a scallywag, you have to do the loop. So I said, come on, let's do this. I not really challenged myself in that manner, but that was always a hill I was afraid of. And so we did, he's like, are we going to do this? And he's like, that's one thing that's been really awesome, is I have my kids, my son riding, my youngest son in the front. He's always encouraged me, Mama, you got this, But when I did this hill, I had my oldest, and he's like, you got this, Mom? And I was like, I got this, let's go, because I am a 40+ old woman, so it's not, he sees me as an old lady trying to get up this hill.
Well, you know what? I'm looking at the comments right now. And Mercedes Brock is saying all she does is hills. That's what Mercedes is saying. She's saying,
hey, look. I told you she got
them. We don't shy away from them. But that was the scary one. And it was actually funny. Once I did it, I was pumped, and we made our loop around to Juanito and Maria's house. And Juanito was actually outside washing his car. And I said, Juan, I did it. I made it up that hill. And he was like, good for you, and he was encouraging, of course, because it's not but I was internally, I was like, okay, if I can do this hill, I can do anything. And so that's kind of just what stuck. And when we do these hills, yes, Mercedes is right. Mondays we don't shy away from these hills. because the feeling of accomplishment when you do these hills is absolutely awesome. You know, we have a lot of people that are new and started to ride these Monday rides with us because they know we do hills. But we stand at the top and we encourage them, come on, let's go, let's go. When they get to the top, it's like, hell yeah, you freaking did it. Let's go, you know? So we encourage everyone, you know, every step of the way. And when you see the look of accomplishment on their face, you know your job is done. You know, yeah, it's hard for everyone, but you know, even if you have to walk it or even if you have to stop, it's okay. You're going to try it again next time and you're going to kick that hill's
Well, I mean,
ass.
it's not like you're gonna go up and then go back down. You're gonna finish it one way or the other, whether you walk, crawl, or ride.
No, well, and so if you go up the hill, then you always got to go down it.
Right, exactly.
You got to go down it. So that's what you work for, the downhill.
Right.
Yeah, my husband just told me Pacific Avenue is about a 70-foot climb. It's like it's a weird gradual climb, but man, that first step is, you know, so there's a few others. We started doing there's another hill that we're gonna conquer this year. So I don't want to give it away because I don't want to give the route away. But last year we went down it. This year we're gonna go up it. So
Wow, okay.
I got to figure out my scheduling because I feel like there's a challenge ahead of me coming to this. I got to
oh,
figure.
always a challenge. Let's do this. But if I'm leading, you're gonna make it. I promise.
That's a good one. DJ, you got something?
Yeah, well, you know, speaking of which, you kind of touched base a little bit on your job and stuff like that. You know, I'm a fellow DJ as well, and I actually have a radio station in the app stores.
Oh,
Hip hop,
cool.
R&B, all clean music, but it's run 24 hours a day. Um, but I mean, what as far as you know, what you do on that end of it, like, do you incorporate that any with the bike life stuff, or like, tell me a little bit more about what you do exactly? Because you're, you know, I mean, I have a degree in music, so I mean, I do engineering work. I'm a DJ, producing music,
Mhm.
composing the whole nine. But
Yeah.
also, you know, the TV, the you know, that broadcasting world
Mhm.
of it too. What all like incorporates your world with that?
So basically, when I initially started in radio, I had no radio background. And shout out to Jennifer Blackwell because she has been my mentor for 15 years now. I went in, I saw a position open for a receptionist, you know, thinking I was going to help in the office. Boy,
Right,
was I wrong.
right.
Boy, was I wrong.
That's how
But
it
in a
starts,
good
though.
way, in a
Literally,
good way. I've
yeah,
been there
that's how it
15.
starts.
Yeah, you know, I've been there 15 years, and within the first week, she had me voicing commercials and producing commercials, and she taught me how to do it. 15 years ago, it was a lot more manual things, which
Mhm.
I actually love because it's more control. You know, times have changed into the digital aspect of it. But I did, you know, I did that for commercial production. You know, I was basically her assistant for 13 years. But we also, you know, working side by side with Jennifer for so long, we always, you know, when Jennifer Teresa show, we host a lot of events. We do a lot of things. We always teased about, you know, having our own show. And I think we're on I think we're on year 8. The opportunity arose, and I have to give kudos to the owner of the station. He honestly, he just passed, but he had a lot of faith in us. And when the opportunity arose for the Today in Yuma show, we said, "Hey, boss, we're going to do this." Actually, it happened like this. I was in production, producing a commercial. Jennifer came in and she goes, "You know, we've always talked about the Jennifer and Teresa show," joking. It's like,
Mhm.
"Yeah." She goes, "Well, how about it start in a week and a half?"
Oh,
And I said,
cool.
"Okay, let's do it," you know? And that's where our show started. We do Today in Yuma, which is Monday through Friday, 9 to 10 a.m. And it is just what it sounds, all Yuma. We talk everything from local nonprofits, community happenings, basically if it's going on in Yuma, we talk about it.
Okay, great.
But that's just one little piece of it. Like I said, we host events. There's a couple big events that happen here. We do every single year. And we're a small staff. we're a staff of 6, and now I've transitioned from doing production. I'm actually the business manager now. Still do production because you can't take that away from me.
Right.
It's something that I have passion for. But we do our live show every day, and we absolutely love it. I love what I do. Some people wake up. Those people always say, when you love what you do, you don't work a day of your life. And don't get me wrong, there's those days, but I wouldn't trade my job for the world.
All right. Okay. So with bike riding, how did you incorporate the time? Because this is a good question too, because I want to know this because I tell people, well, I'll tell you my take after you tell me, how do you incorporate your time with bike riding with work and family?
It's a challenge. It's a challenge. But I have an amazing husband. And like I said, we do this bike life together. It's a family thing. And so, my Mondays, he knows that's my day that I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna pedal. The kids, they have school. So he knows that we're gonna go. And 90% of the time my oldest is with me, so he can't watch the littlest one. So Mondays are usually my day to pedal. I need that for myself too, to get out there and just pedal it out. I mean, especially last week is when I found out that my boss had passed or was passing. And I know that I know my bike life family could tell I wasn't myself, but I needed to get out there and get that out of me, get on your pedals and just go. And
Right.
Mondays allow me to do that. Tuesdays, we have our Taco Tuesday rides. That's for family. Bring out the kids, bring out everyone. We all get together, and we're not the only family out there. There's so many families that ride together. My littlest makes his own friends out there in the bike life. And then Thursdays is our Los Thursdays with Yuma Bike Life again. It's I call them dinner rides. We incorporate the family in that. And then when we do these big rides out of town, it is a family thing. That's the really awesome thing about bike life is everyone can do it. Am I a busy person? God knows. Yes, I am,
Right.
but even when I do have that downtime, 90% of the time it's like, you know what? I'm gonna go put some miles on my pedals real quick. I'll be right back, type of thing. So
Okay.
we find a balance. The family
That's
support's big.
the easy balance. And I mean, it was good you said that because family can be a part of it, and a lot of people seem to try to separate it. But I look at it like this: when we were growing up as kids, when we went to school for those hours, when we came home, the first thing we wanted to do was go outside and play or do whatever,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Or if your mom said, do the dishes, do the trash, it is the same difference as an adult. You're at work for those hours, you come home, you just got to have the energy to play. We're older, but I mean, you got to grab the energy to play. But even like you said, with the kids, you take care of the kids, do whatever is necessary at home, and then you just get out there and enjoy it. So
Yeah.
a lot of people don't have the takes that you just said. And what I'm saying is like, it's not hard. You just got to have the energy to do it.
Well, and sometimes, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's days where I'm like, do I want to pedal this 15 miles on a Monday? But you get yourself out there, you
Right.
get yourself out there. And once you do, I come home and, David was saying, he'll go pedal to relax and get some miles. I'm totally opposite. Mondays, my husband's looking at me like, I'll get home at 9:30 and he's like, 10:30. I'm like trying to wind myself down because it is an adrenaline rush when we push in
Right.
those hills. So, we love it. And again, it comes down to it's a family thing. It would be a lot harder if it wasn't a family. I mean, my son and his friend are getting ready to go ride the ride that I usually lead. Right now, thankfully, the meetup's right around the corner. But that's what they're doing. It is very much a family thing, and I am lucky to have that support because I know not everyone has that. Like I said,
Right.
my husband loves to pedal just as if we had a babysitter every single Monday, he'd be out there with me. So it is very much a team effort.
Okay. Good stuff then. Yeah. Good,
Yeah.
good.
So you do some traveling too. You say you do some out of state rides.
Yeah. So we've been to San Diego, mostly San Diego. We went to Phoenix and we did the DMB ride, anniversary ride last year. That was super fun. And we will probably do that again next year. That works out to be around my birthday time, so we use that as a chance to get out of town and ride. But yeah, I've experienced quite a few rides out of town, and again, they're a little bit challenging because the terrain is different. But that's why we do what we do here. Is that what are you going to turn around when you're on an out of town ride and you see a hill? No, you're going to try and do what you can to
Right.
conquer it. So yeah, we do some out of town rides as much as possible. Honestly, if we can get out of town and go, bike life has become so awesome because it was social media too. You're able to keep up with all these people. And I've made so many friends that have turned into family out of town. And, we may only see each other once, maybe twice a year. But we keep in contact throughout the year. They come to our rides, we go to their rides, and it really has extended my family outside of Yuma, because I think, that's what bike life's about. We support each other. And so, just the friends and the family that we've made, by traveling with bike life, I never in a million years would have thought that we would be doing this, but happy that we are.
That's
You
good.
be, wait, you've
Um,
been
go
real
ahead.
quick.
Sorry,
Have you been to OBC?
I was just going to ask that.
Okay.
No, no, I haven't. There was something else that happened. That usually falls around, I think, the SD biking
It's like the
anniversary as
first week or
well.
second week of April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I have not, but it's on my list.
Well, see, you brought up like how it is like a one big. Well, that's what it stands for. One big club, basically. But it's great when you brought up like how bike life is a family. Like you get a real good sense of it and see it from like around the world almost at
Yeah.
OBC. So that's why I was asking. You
No,
definitely get there. It's definitely
I
something. To see.
definitely want to get there. Definitely want to get
Yeah.
there. We have a few members that go every single year, and each year it's like, okay, sometimes you got to make these hard decisions, where are you going to go type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's on. If I'm doing OBC, it's just going to be a no kid. It's going to be a no child trip. So it'll be definitely something I can plan with the hubby.
That's awesome. Hey, with you being a rider and so involved in the Yuma community, have you guys worked with any at risk youth with bicycles? Have you got any of the kids that have troubled teens, things like that?
Aren't they all?
Yeah.
Going through something?
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm not going to name any names, but I have a few. Being a mom myself, and most of our gorditas are too, and I think that's what's cool is we all have that same mentality. And some of these kids come from broken homes, whether they don't have moms, they don't have dads. Sometimes it's the parent bringing them and dropping them off. If we have that good, believe me, we're not babysitters. We're not babysitters, and it's hard to, because we do want the families to be involved in what their kids are doing. So if there's a parent out there that their child wants to be involved, bring them. Let me talk to your mom. Let me talk to your dad. Let's have these conversations. But yeah, there has been. I think times are different for these kids. Even my son, going through junior high, man, there's some tough times out there. The world is a lot different. And then when we were growing up. And so am I a bike life mom? 100%, but these kids need to know that we're not doing it out of place of hatred or meanness. We're trying to keep you safe. And so, especially on the rides, if I make, they're listening to me, I don't demand respect, but I think I've earned a place in their heart where they do respect me. So if I do tell them something, they listen. Has there been a few bad seeds in there that Maria and I said, this is not a good representation of what we represent as a bike life as a whole, and have to have those hard conversations that says, sorry, you're not welcome here. There's a certain level. If you want to have your parents come talk to us and you want to come ride, then that's a different story. Let's talk. But 90% of the time they won't bring that parent because they know they're up to no good. But we have a handful, and we try to be the best role models we can. But there's some kids that don't want that life. But we do have a handful of kids, and I absolutely adore them you know, they all go through it just like we do, even as adults. And to see them come out on the other side and be productive young adults is pretty awesome, you know. So we just do our best to be the best role models we can. And if we have, like I said, if we have to have those tough conversations because there's people there that are doing things that we don't align with, then so be it. We
What
got to
do you
protect our
promote
family.
with that though? What, like, you know, I think with you know, with like being a bike life parent or whatnot, you know, grown folks still, you know, do, you know, we do our grown folks thing.
Exactly.
But what do you, what is your guidance as far as, because they ride most of the time with you guys, right? Or do they have
Mhm.
their own? Is there a different lane, or is everybody together?
No, everybody rides together. I think for the most part, you know, they have to know right from wrong.
Okay.
They have to know right from wrong. And yeah, there's adults there doing adult things. But it goes in the same vein, you know, what's legal for a 21-year-old is not legal for an 18-year-old, 16-year-old, a 19-year-old, a 20-year-old. So we hold to those. And it goes the same way, you know, unfortunately, there's things that are not legal, and we've seen it, you know, within the bike life. And again, there's tough conversations, but within the bike life, if we come together as one and you bring a representative from each bike club and they have that conversation saying, hey, this is not acceptable. And until this
There
is,
you go.
you know, we come together as one, we have to. And we are blessed within Yuma Bike Life. There's not been very many instances, but we have been blessed with the few instances we had to deal with an adult. They've come together, and we bring it together and we present it to them and say, hey, look, we need to have this conversation with this person. And when you have everybody collective on the same page, it works.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, great.
That sounds awesome. If you could send one message to women and young ladies when you ride your bike, what would it be?
Ride your bike, pedal your bike.
Bam, 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 bam,
Right.
bam,
Pedal
bam.
your bike. We've had this conversation so many times. So many times. Be a part of the bike life community. Get out there and try it once. I guarantee you're going to be hooked. You know, that is one thing with Gorditas BMX. Like I said, we are all women of different ages, different sizes, we are all, you know, hardworking women. We have our day jobs. It doesn't matter. And I, you know, our founders, when they initially started it, you know, they were self-conscious about themselves, you know, being a larger person, and you're like, I don't know if I can do this, you know, but prove to yourself you can. You know, you don't know until you try it. And I'm telling you, once you experience the community and realize that we're all just like you, you're going to fall in love with it. You're going to fall in love with it. Don't be afraid. You know, I have people that come up to me. We did a live broadcast today, and I had a lady come up to me and she goes, how do I become part of what you do with the bike stuff? And I told her, first off, follow the page, because that's where we post all the rides. I said, but just come. If you have a bike, come. It doesn't matter what your bike is, what kind of bike you have. Come out here and pedal. And once they experience it, there's something about it. It is infectious. Don't let your mind stop you. I think that, you know, when it comes to any journey that you're on, whether you're on a health and fitness journey or whether you're on, you know what, I just need to get out of our mind is our biggest enemy at some time, but it can also be your biggest cheerleader too. You know, you got to feed it what you want. And so I think if you just get out of your own head and said, you know what, I'm going to try something new. Let's do it. You know, you're going to find that you fall in love with something. And it may not be bikes, you know, it's that mentality can go to anything. But when it comes to bicycles, you know, everybody is welcome, and don't let your mind stop you. Just try it. Just try it. Pedal that bike.
That's it.
I like that a lot. DJ, you got any other questions?
Nah, she pretty much she sound like me when it comes to some of the morals and stuff. That was great for real.
Yeah, that was hot. What time's your
That's what
ride?
I needed to hear, especially from a woman, because
They'll be starting here soon, but I know where they're going, so I can meet them.
All right, well, here's a final question for you. It's almost similar to the second one, but bike life is, as we know, nationwide, state to state, city to city, worldwide, globally. If you had an opportunity to share a unified message with the bicycle community and the global population today, what would you entail it to every one of us? Just not the ladies, but all of us.
We hear this saying throughout the bike life community, and our vice president, Maribel, she says it all the time. Was it two wheels, one love?
I've heard that. Yes.
There's so much hate and drama out there, but we're all in this for the same thing. We're out there because we love pedaling our bikes. And if we can all get along as one, I mean, it's the same, same as One Love. Bob Marley is one of my, inspirations is,
I feel you back there.
yeah, it was a couple of walls. Now it's only down to one, but it's peace, love, and unity. We're all in this for the same reason, not only to inspire each other, but, to inspire the youth. We all have it hard out there. And I think the biggest thing is do what you can to inspire these kids to be good humans. And if pedaling my bike around the world or different states, if I could pedal in different countries. Actually, we have an international bike ride on October 25th. I usually don't cross over because we stop at the border, but if you get that chance to spread that message, why not? Peace, love, and happiness. That's what it's about. That, we're not out there to try and cause drama. Yeah, there's different clubs and different clubs align with different things, and that's okay. What you believe in is what do you believe in. But I think the biggest message is, we got to inspire these kids to be good humans. And if we as adults can represent that and by, sharing the road on two wheels, then why not?
Right. Well, before we let you go, I want to know, for you and your hubby, do you guys have a dream trip to ride somewhere? Is there somewhere in the world that you two would like to ride that would mean a lot to you guys?
Oh my gosh. Shoot, I don't know. I've never really thought about that. Shoot, anywhere, like I said, if we can get out of town and pedal together, then we're all about it. I don't know that I've ever can say I have a dream to pedal
Well,
some
hey,
specific
she gotta
place.
come to OBC first. So
Yeah, right. We both do. I mean, this will be my yeah. Yeah, hopefully you guys are
Colorado's
there.
cold for me though. I don't know if I can do Colorado.
Well, you know what you could do? You know what you could do? July 9th through the 14th, I'm going to be we have our Denver community and stuff like that, but I'm trying to get different states to come here to see our culture. Through the 14th, we have people potentially coming from the Midwest as far as Louisiana too. And there's a lot of great bicycle clubs out here. It will be, I mean, people can't just, not everybody can just show up for the whole time, but it's a Wednesday through Sunday type thing. And we have our Denver Cruiser ride that's by Brad Evans that leads the rides, and there's usually 700 to 1,000 people at a time. Like everybody, it's just a street takeover in Denver, Colorado. And then like if you came out here on a Wednesday, I would definitely take you to the Washington Park Cruisers, or I'd give you the option if you'd want to go to the Wheelie Boys. But with your background of liking to do long distance, I'd probably take you with Wash Park Cruisers. It's a more.
Hey, I'm down for it all. I'm down for it all. I mean, it's if we're out there just interacting with the community, even better. But, you always have the option to come ride with us. Again, November 8th, Gorditas BMX 3rd anniversary. That's the one that's most recent coming up. We've been overwhelmed with the amount of support that we've been getting. We just posted a new flyer. So many clubs coming from all around. I'm super excited. Again, I'm the ride lead, so I get a little nervous. So I try to just kind of put that behind me. But, it's a good time. And so, yeah, definitely. I'll put that on the calendar and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, definitely. Big shout out to all the clubs in Yuma, Arizona and the Los Riders out there.
Hey, we got a Los Riders chapter out here too. They actually adopted a bike path right down the road from here too.
Oh,
So
nice. Big shout out to Mario and all of those cats.
yeah, doing big things. I'm telling you, we're trying our best. We're trying our best.
Yes, definitely. Well, thank you for coming on our platform. As you know, you were our first female guest, and we were.
Yay! I hope you
Yeah.
have more.
I'm gonna be, you know what? I'm gonna be traveling a lot more in 2026. So I'm gonna be. It's, you know, this is an open platform for everything. Yes, I do a lot of cruiser rides. Don't be surprised if we switch it up and there's mountain bikers, you know, cyclists.
Yeah.
I want it to be everything. Everybody has a story about bike life, and one thing that a lot of people don't know that me and Teresa have talked about on the 25th episode, she's going to come in to interview me.
Woohoo!
It will not be questions ahead of time. I'll be going in blind for this one. So she'll have an
Yeah.
hour to talk, and DJ will be there as well. Since he was the first interview, I'll be the 25th interview.
I love it. I'm down. I'm ready for it.
I'm
All
excited
right,
for
let's
that.
go. Well, you have a good, safe night, Yuma Bike Life, and you guys ride safe and keep those
Thank
wheels
you.
down.
Thank you
Thank
for
you so
having me.
much. Thank you so much. You have a great night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was great.
Yeah, that was a good interview, definitely.
Calling you in a few minutes.
Okay.